Book title: The Master Key System. What if everything you touch, every person you meet, and every experience you attract has never been random? What if the unseen architect behind all of it is you? Not the small you that worries, but the silent one that imagines, believes, and commands. Long before self-help seminars, long before digital gurus and life coaches, there was a man who quietly wrote the blueprint of creation itself. His name was Charles Francis Haanel, and the year was 1912. Hidden inside his 24-part correspondence course was a revelation so vast it frightened the narrow-minded and electrified the daring. The world within creates the world without. Welcome to Sethtra Audiobook, where books speak and wisdom lives. If you believe that knowledge is sacred, that thought is power, and that silence holds the loudest truth, subscribe, listen deeply, and awaken with us. Tonight, we rediscover a treasure buried for more than a century: the Master Key System. Introduction. Charles F. Haanel lived in a world on the edge of transformation. America had just entered its machine age. Electricity lit the streets. Telegraphs carried voices through wires, and factories began replacing farmers. Amid all this noise, Haanel watched people chase success the hard way, by force, competition, and exhaustion, and he asked a forbidden question. Could the invisible mind be the real factory of power? He was not a mystic hiding behind incense and riddles. He was a businessman who studied psychology, electricity, and the Bible with equal intensity. To him, the universe was not chaos but law, a mathematical intelligence guided by thought. He believed man's mind was a divine instrument designed to cooperate with this law, not fight against it. So he wrote the Master Key System not as philosophy, but as training. Each lesson taught readers to think in harmony with universal intelligence, to build mental pictures that would crystallize into results. It is said that when Napoleon Hill read these lessons, he rewrote his own destiny, and later gifted the world Think and Grow Rich. But Haanel's goal wasn't merely to make men wealthy, it was to make them awake. He taught that our greatest poverty is unconsciousness, and our greatest wealth is awareness. Every page of this system whispers one eternal truth. You are already the creator. You've just forgotten the code. Part 1. The Invisible Law of Mind. The first law Haanel reveals is both simple and terrifying. Thought is cause. Form is effect. Everything physical you can touch began as a mental image, a spark of imagination held long enough to take shape. The house you live in, the job you hold, even the friendships you maintain, all were drawn from the pattern of your consistent thoughts. He writes, "The world within controls the world without. The outer world is only the mirror. If you look into that mirror and dislike what you see, scolding the reflection changes nothing. You must change the face that produces it, the inner blueprint of belief. Imagine a gardener planting seeds. The soil doesn't care whether he drops flowers or thorns. It will grow whatever it receives. The subconscious mind is the same, perfectly obedient, totally impartial. It accepts every thought repeated with feeling and returns it multiplied. Most people scatter seeds of fear and wonder why weeds appear. Haanel calls this ignorance of law the root of suffering. To live deliberately, you must reverse the habit. Choose your inner pictures the way an artist chooses colors. Hold them, feel them, water them daily with gratitude. The universe has no choice but to reflect them back as circumstance. That is not superstition, it is cause and effect, invisible but exact. Part 2. The Power of Concentration. Haanel said, "The man who is able to hold his thought on one subject until it becomes clear has reached the point where he can control all conditions." Concentration, to him, was the missing crown of human power. We live in an age that murders focus. Notifications, headlines, endless scrolls. Our attention is traded like currency. Yet the law of mind responds only to sustained vibration. A scattered mind sends mixed signals to the universe and receives mixed results. Concentration is not strain, it is alignment. It is the art of entering stillness so deeply that your single chosen idea fills the whole field of awareness. In that silence, the picture grows roots. Every inventor, composer, or leader who changed history entered this state, whether they called it prayer, flow, or inspiration. To practice, Haanel advised sitting quietly, relaxing each muscle, and holding a clear mental image of what you desire, seeing it as real, as present. In time, the image gains life. The subconscious takes it as instruction, and unseen forces begin to assemble the conditions for its appearance. The lazy call it luck. The wise call it law. Part 3. The Law of Attraction. Before posters, affirmations, and vision boards flooded the world, Haanel described attraction as the law by which thought reproduces itself in kind. Every thought vibrates. Every vibration attracts its equal. Fear attracts more fear. Confidence draws opportunity. This is not poetry. It is resonance. He wrote, "Like attracts like. Thought is a living energy. When your mind emits harmony, you magnetize harmonious conditions. When you dwell in resentment, you radiate discord and meet it everywhere." Modern science calls this coherence. Frequencies synchronize when they share rhythm. Likewise, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions beat in one rhythm, you enter flow with the universe itself. That is why wishing fails, because most wishes are divided. The lips say yes, the heart whispers no. Haanel's students were told to build mental pictures charged with emotion, then release them, trusting that the universe, like fertile soil, knows how to grow them. Desire must be paired with faith, not desperation. The moment you doubt, you introduce resistance. The moment you trust, the current moves again. Pause for a moment and remember the last time you felt certain about something good, that quiet knowing before it happened. That certainty is the magnetic state. Cultivate it, and the unseen will start arranging the scene. Part 4, the silence. Within every lesson of the Master Key system ends the same way. Sit still, be silent. Haanel considered this the highest practice. For 30 minutes a day, he asked his students to stop moving, stop talking, stop reacting. To most people, this sounded impossible, until they tried it and met the part of themselves that never moves. In silence, you encounter the operator behind the machine. You realize you are not the racing thoughts, but the sky that holds them. Haanel wrote, "You are not your thoughts, you are the thinker." That distinction changes everything. Silence refines the instrument. It sharpens awareness until inspiration can be heard. Great composers said melodies arrived. Scientists claimed ideas appeared. In truth, silence made them receptive. To the modern soul drowning in noise, this is rebellion, turning off the world to hear the universe. Try it. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and watch your thoughts like clouds. Behind them, a light begins to emerge. The real you, calm, observing, unhurt. That is the Master Key's turning point. Part 5. Wealth as a mental state. Haanel dismantles the illusion that money is the measure of prosperity. Wealth, he said, is primarily an attitude of mind. The universe is infinite supply. Limitation exists only in perception. Picture two men given the same opportunity. One sees lack and fears loss. The other sees abundance and expects increase. Each proves himself right. The law does not discriminate. It mirrors belief. True wealth begins with gratitude. Gratitude tunes consciousness to the frequency of receiving. When you give thanks for what is, you affirm that supply exists, and the current of creation continues to flow. When you complain, you declare scarcity, and the current slows. Haanel taught that generosity is not moral decoration. It is physics. The more freely energy moves through you, the more the universe can send back. To hoard is to clog the stream. To give is to keep it alive. Look around you now. The air, the ideas, the opportunities. Abundance surrounds you like oxygen, waiting only for recognition. Once you see it, it multiplies. That vision is wealth. Part 6. Faith, Action, and Creation. Haanel warns that thought alone is incomplete. Faith without action is fantasy. Action without faith is struggle. The Master Key unites the two. When belief and behavior align, manifestation becomes inevitable. He writes, "You must act as though you already are what you wish to become. This is not pretending. It is living from the vibration of completion. The actor becomes the role by being it. Likewise, the creator shapes reality by walking as if it's done. Faith is emotional certainty. Action is physical confirmation. Together, they carve new probabilities into form. Every time you take a step consistent with your vision, the universe takes 10 toward you. Coincidences appear, people call, doors open, because you've moved from hoping to knowing. Imagine a sculptor striking marble. Each hammer hit is action. The mental image of David is faith. Without the picture, the hammer is violence. Without the hammer, the picture stays trapped in stone. The creator wields both. Closing summary and ending message. So what is the master key? It is the understanding that mind is the universe's first substance, and that thought is its tool of creation. When you master your inner conversation, you master destiny. You stop living by reaction and start living by design. The poor in spirit look outward for rescue. The awakened look inward for command. Every day you think deliberately, you are turning the master key, unlocking new rooms in the mansion of reality. Haanel's message transcends era and religion. It whispers through science, psychology, and scripture alike. Energy follows attention. Keep your attention pure, and life becomes art. Books like the Master Key System are not meant to be admired. They are meant to be practiced. So tonight, try this. Sit in stillness, breathe slowly, and imagine the life you wish to create. Feel it as real, not someday, but now. Let gratitude fill your chest like sunrise. You have just turned the first key. If this journey stirred something in you, know that you found a rare space in the noise of the world, a home for thinkers, dreamers, and builders of light. You're listening to Sethtra Audiobook, where books speak and wisdom lives. Each week, we revive forgotten masterpieces that teach you how to master the inner world so the outer world bows in harmony. Like, share, and subscribe if you believe in awakening minds through timeless words. Because the next story we tell might open another door in you. And remember, the master key has always been in your hands.